Good morning, everyone. In today's session, I will be talking about comprehension passages which are common in both ICSE CBSE boards, and you get discursive, factual, or literary passages to deal with. Most of the students find this portion somewhat challenging, mainly because we have, perhaps most of us, lost the habit of reading. Comprehension means you have to comprehend, and what comes, the foremost important thing about it is you have to read the passage well. Remember that any comprehension work or question requires at least twice reading of the passage. Okay, so when you're getting the passage in front of you, you're answering it either in your classwork or you're practicing, or if it is the final exam, what you have to do is you have to first skim through the passage. SKIM, skim. Skimming means read the passage in a flow without trying to stop on the words which you don't understand, or any complicated expression which you don't understand. Okay, do not stop at them or try to think about them at all. Just read through and get an overall concept of what the passage is about. Once you are done with the skimming, now you take a pencil, and if you're allowed to mark in the question paper, use your pencil. If you're not allowed, then just make a brain marking of the words which you think you are not able to understand, if it's a very difficult unknown word. Okay, you have to also make note, either virtually or if possible directly, underlining, you have to find out the key words. Like in case of factual passage, you see which words are leading you to the information based in that given in that passage. Okay, then you make a note of the words which are leading words, okay, which are guiding words, which will tell you whether this passage is an argumentative passage, or this is simply a statement based factual passage giving you lots of information. When we are taking a note of these words, it will enable us to answer the questions quickly when we go to the writing part of the comprehension. After we have read through the passage clearly, completely, we try with the questions now. What kind of questions you get? Now, under question pattern, you will find WH questions, like why, how, what. Okay, so answers to these questions are quite direct, and you will find them easily, locate them easily in the comprehension passage. So it is not much of a challenge that you need to face here. Next is now again here in before I go to the next pattern of questions, let me tell you that these words that you have already marked either with a pencil or in your mind, then these words are now going to help you answering these questions. The answering of these questions will be quite prompt, will be done by you quite promptly. Now we go over to the inference questions. Okay, inference questions where you have to interpret the meaning, the kind of develop your opinion after reading. You won't get these answers directly in the passage. Now this is where students find a bit of problem. Okay, now to answer these questions, you have to read what is called between the lines. Reading between the lines means you have to find the hidden meaning in the passage. There could be symbols used by the writer. There could be metaphorical language, expressions used by the writer, which you have to decipher. And this for that you have to concentrate in that particular area. Some comprehension passages you will get hint of the paragraph number. They try to help the students by providing with the paragraph number where the possible answer may be found out. So for that you refer to that particular paragraph number and you concentrate more on the lines. And I'm sure after giving one or two readings, rereading that passage, you will very well be able to make a conclusion and write these answer these questions with your own opinion developed in your own language. Now remember, when you are putting up an answer for these questions, do not use the words of the author. Okay, give your own words over there. Whereas in case of the WH questions, what informative based questions, you can pick up words from the comprehension. Earlier they wanted only the original words of the students, but now they do not mind if you pick it up directly from the from the passage. Moreover, there are some questions where they actually want you to use the words used by the author. Quote from the passage the word which gives an evidence to support your answer. Okay, so there you have to actually extract that word which has been used by the author in the passage. So this is how we deal with the inference based questions. Then finally you come to the rephrasing of questions, rephrasing questions pattern, where you might have to reframe the same line in your own words. Okay, maybe a particular expression or a word which has been used in one way in the passage and you are doing it in another way. Okay, you have to the answer requires you to write it in another way. Yeah, so those are called rephrasing questions. These are the three patterns that you get, and of course there are vocabulary based questions where you get to know the synonym, the antonym, or maybe express the meaning in one or two words. Okay, where you need not write a synonym, but you can express the meaning of the word in your own line, in your own words. Other than that, you get antonym, synonym, and sometimes the meaning of the words are given. You have to find the word which is used in the passage. In class 11 and 12 of ICSE board, you get something called homonyms. You must have seen so many educational videos I have already shared in the channel on homonyms. Okay, so that's a different question altogether, where a given word which is used in a particular way in the comprehension passage, the question wants you to use it in another way. Okay, so for example, the word start, 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 the most common usage is begin, but start also means to startle. Okay, so that is how the word is used in a different context. So they ask you to maybe write a sentence which is used in a different with a different meaning of that word. Okay, so these are more or less the question patterns that you face in the comprehension passage. But what I want to insist again before ending this video, that do not think reading the comprehension passage is a wastage of time. Okay, because the 15 minutes allotted for that question includes your reading time as well. You need to read it twice, otherwise you will have a lot of difficulty, lot of problem. You'll be wasting a lot of time in hunting the questions, and at that time you don't even count the minutes that you are spending. So it is wiser if you spend fixed time, at least 5 minutes you give to that passage, read it well, and then you start answering the questions. Okay, so that's all for today. I'll be discussing about the note-making comprehension passage that is particularly for CBSE board only in another session. Thank you.